Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just supposed to make sense out of all this data, but it's all trash.
Okay, wait, let me do something.
Wait, wow, who are you?
Well, I am a data engineer.
So this is all what you do, just transform the data. Obviously we transform the data and publish it so that it is useful for downstream users. We also clean out the trash so that you never have to see it. The data that you see on the table is really very small. We are usually able to handle terabytes of data, making sure that our pipeline is highly scalable and is able to perform all the time. Apart from that, we have to select a data model. Either we should go with star or we should go with snowflake or something in the middle. We also have to orchestrate the pipeline using a tool or a programming language and make sure that it is completely configuration driven, having all the monitoring and logging capabilities as well. On top of that, we should be able to handle all of this for real time as well as streaming data, also capturing the changes that happen over time in the data so that it's useful for data analysts and data scientists for recognizing historical patterns so that they can make predictions. And did I mention that we also integrate all different data sources and make sure that the pipeline has super fast performance even on the cloud?
Wow, that is impressive. Do you know how I can learn data engineering?
Luckily, this video is exactly for someone like you who wants to learn data engineering from scratch.
Hello everyone, this is Josh and I work as a data engineer at Google, and this video is all you need if you want to be a data engineer learning everything from scratch. Now this is by far the most requested video I've had on this channel, whether I talk about YouTube comments or LinkedIn direct messages. So let's jump right in. This video is not one of those paid collaboration where I talk about get this course from XYZ person and after 6 months or a year you'll definitely be a successful data engineer and get placed into FANG or MANG or similar companies. No, this is for those people who are genuinely interested in learning data engineering and transitioning into this super cool field. Before I get started, I would just like to highlight that a lot of work has been put into this video. So if you find this useful, don't forget to leave a like button and subscribe to the channel. So think of this roadmap as a game where you would have to pass through 7 different levels to become the ultimate data engineer. Now each level has multiple tasks that you need to accomplish, and the order of tasks in a particular level doesn't really matter, but the order of level definitely matters. So let's begin, and we are going to start with prerequisites. So as we can see in prerequisite section, there are some languages and some concepts that we need to learn. The first one is DBMS. Database is one of the most key concepts in the world of data engineering, and without it you simply cannot survive. If you go through this link, it will open a tutorials point link here. It's an article where there are different sections that you can go through, like the overview, the architecture, data model, data schemas. It talks about everything from the ground up. It talks about ER model, it talks about SQL overview, what are different types of joins, how is indexing, hashing done, and it also contains some advanced topics and ultimately also has some interview questions. So this link is super useful for you to learn DBMS concepts. Then moving on, we are talking about SQL now. So when I click on this SQL link, you'll see that you're redirected to this W3 schools, and it has everything that you need to learn about SQL, from basic concepts to more advanced ones like stored procedures and operators and whatnot. You can see this is an example of how write join is done. There is a little bit of an explanation, and then there is a try it yourself button. Now when you click on it, you will be able to run an SQL directly here, and on the right hand side you can also see all the tables that we have. So our database has different tables like customers, categories. You can click on it to just do a select star from customers. I'm just going to do a Control Z now, and if I want to run this particular join, I just have to click the run SQL button and it will give me the output of this join. You can play around with it and understand the concept by changing the SQL query here. So this is definitely a super good way to learn SQL. After that, we are talking about hands-on. Now you'll be wondering, we already went through hands-on in the W3 schools, right? But this hands-on is completely different. It's about HackerRank, and it has all the easy, medium, hard problems on SQL that are usually asked in interviews. So when you click on it, you'll be redirected to this page, and we have different ways we can filter out. For example, if you want to look at intermediate skills, you can do it, and you can just click on solve challenge. You'll be able to see the question, the example output, and you'll be able to write your SQL query. Most of the job requirements that I have seen on data engineering contains Python over Scala. But don't worry, if you know one language, it's very easy for you to just switch gears a little and learn a different one. Going through a lot of links and resources, and all of it is going to be mentioned in the description. But when you're going through it, just make sure that you are following all the levels and the order of the levels that I'm mentioning it in this video. Don't just randomly go around in different links. If you're already good with DBMS, SQL, Python, and Linux, let's say, then you can skip the prerequisite section. So when you open the Python link, you'll be redirected here. So this is learnpython.org. It has everything from hello world to more advanced concepts, and you can also learn different data structures. For example, if I want to learn lists, I can do that. And just like in W3 schools, you can play around here with your code to know more Python concepts. So I would definitely recommend going through this website. Once you're done with that, I would suggest go through the hands-on one. Now this is similar to what we have done in SQL. You'll be redirected to HackerRank link. So here again, you can sort different difficulties and then go with different Python problems. Moving on, let's talk about Linux. So the reason I've added Linux is not because we do a lot of shell scripting. Yes, sometimes that is the case, but knowing Linux commands is kind of a key to being any kind of engineer, not just data engineer. So for example, if you are doing anything on a virtual machine, you need to understand the Ubuntu commands or Linux commands in order to install something, in order to move your files, copy your files, everything, right? So that's why you can go through this Linux basics for beginners. So it's basically a Udemy course, and I'm not sure what will be the price of the course by the time you see this video, but as you can see, I have already taken a snapshot where it was available at $449. So if you think that any course from Udemy is very expensive for you, then just I would say wait for a sale and the prices will definitely drop, and at that time you can just get it. There are no hands-on section separately for this because it is already included in the course. We are done with prerequisites and we are moving on to next level, which is everything data. This has all data concepts. There are so many data warehousing concepts like data lake, data mart, data modeling, or even slowly changing dimensions. These are just some keywords that I'm talking about, but it's super important to understand what exactly is data warehouse. So for that, you can just go through this everything data section. So if I open this course, you'll be able to see that again it is redirecting to the Udemy link. You can obviously see before purchasing the course what exactly is in the description and see if it works out for you, but I definitely recommend this course to learn all the concepts of data warehousing if you're a beginner. Once you're done with that course, you can go through this book. This is a very famous book by Kimball Group, which is the Data Warehouse Toolkit. When you're done with both of these materials, you also have to do some self-study. So you have to do some research about concepts like data lake, data mart, what is data fabric, what is a data mesh, data catalog, etc. Now, a lot of these things will already be covered in the courses or the book that I've mentioned here. But if it is not, then I would definitely recommend learning the basics of it. Alright, so we are already 2 levels down. Now the third level is distributed systems. Size of data that we generally deal with is around gigabytes, terabytes to even petabytes range as data engineers. So we need to make sure that we are not running this Python code and SQL queries in our local machine, because we're never going to get the output in time. The concept of distributed system is, think of it like a cluster of computers working specifically for your job, dividing data into different nodes, gathering results and collating it back together before representing it to you. So the time that it takes to get the job done gets significantly reduced. Now there are different distributed systems, right? We've got Hadoop, we've got Spark, Hive, etc. But right now, the first one that you should learn is definitely Spark, because things like Hadoop, Hive are kind of outdated right now. And also, when you will learn basics of Spark, you will know why it was invented and why Hadoop wasn't the best thing. So while learning Spark, you will definitely learn a little bit about Hadoop and Hive. I took this course when I found out that I'll be working with the big data team at ZS 3 years back, when I knew nothing about what is Spark. So this is taming big data with Apache Spark and Python. It has everything like introduction, Spark basics, the data frames, data sets, RDDs, running Spark on a cluster, everything. It also has a lot of hands-on material. So I would definitely recommend going through doing the hands-on along with him. What he is suggesting is that you should install Spark on your local machine. And if you have never done that, it can be a little frustrating. So I would just recommend going to Databricks and creating a community edition account. So for that also, I have created a link. If I click on hands-on here, we'll be redirected to this page, which is try Databricks for free. You can host a Databricks instance on AWS, Azure, or GCP, and it is completely free. Obviously there are some limitations on number of clusters or number of nodes in a cluster that you can have, but it will have everything. It will have Spark installed. You'll be able to run your Spark code or even SQL code. Whenever you're doing the course and they're doing hands-on, just do the same hands-on on this Databricks Community Edition. Now previously distributed systems and all of our data used to be in on-premise on a particular server, but nowadays everything runs on the cloud. So it's super important to understand cloud concepts, and that's why we have the next level. Pick anything, GCP, AWS, or Azure. So for example, if you pick AWS, I have provided you a link to Ultimate AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate course. Why this course? Even if you don't want to do a certification like a Solutions Architect, this course is very good for you to understand the basics. Then there are also different types of course that I'm going to link down below. For example, for GCP, we have this course from A Cloud Guru, which is the Certified Professional Data Engineer course. This is specifically for data engineering professionals or who want to learn data engineering using GCP. I would also recommend for you to consider certifications like AWS Solutions Architect, AWS Big Data Specialty, GCP Professional Data Engineer, or Azure Cloud Fundamentals. You can pick the cloud platform that you like the most and do its certification. It has tremendous market value, and it will definitely give you a lot of credibility when you are sitting in a job interview. Now coming to the next level, we have must-learn tools. I have divided tools into different categories. For example, orchestration, compute, and so on. So if you talk about orchestration, it's again a Udemy course that you can take. It will give you complete hands-on as well as end-to-end understanding of what is Airflow and how it is used. It's basically an orchestrator that allows you to run your pipeline. Then if we talk about compute, I have added two different links here, Databricks and Snowflake. Databricks is generally preferred when you have a Spark workload, and Snowflake is generally preferred when you have SQL workload. For example, if I open Snowflake, you'll be redirected to this link, which is Snowflake A to Z Zero to Hero Masterclass. I took this course before I completed my Snowflake Snow Pro course certification, so I would definitely recommend this one. Also, Databricks substitutes can be AWS EMR or GCP Dataproc, and Snowflake substitutes can be AWS Redshift or GCP BigQuery. The reason that I have mentioned Databricks and Snowflake only is because they can be hosted on any cloud, but if you want cloud specific technologies, then there are these different alternatives that you can go and learn as well. Then let's talk about CI/CD. CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous deployment, which allows you to continuously update your code and deploy it without hampering the production system. Jenkins is pretty much like an Airflow. It's almost like an orchestrator, but it is generally used when it comes to orchestrating CI/CD pipelines. SonarQube is a tool that will allow you to run some tests. It has a lot of packages that you can test your code against. It also checks the security of your code, if there are any vulnerabilities and whatnot, so you can do that as well. If I click on, let's say, Jenkins here, you have this particular tutorial. This is completely free, and in fact it is their official documentation, so you cannot go wrong with this. And also, if you want to learn SonarQube, this one is also completely free, because SonarQube is a very small tool, so their documentation itself feels like a tutorial. Then we're coming over to streaming data pipelines. So there are two types of data pipelines. We are going to cover both of those in the next level. But in order for you to understand the streaming data pipeline, it's very important that you get a basic idea of what is Kafka. So for this, I have again given a link to Stefan Marek's course. Now, just personal preference, Stefan Marek is my favorite tutor on Udemy. I have had so many courses by him, and he explains everything in the most easiest way possible. So I would definitely recommend his course, the Apache Kafka series, to learn about Kafka. And then we have the containers section. So for those of you who don't know what exactly is a container, it can be a little confusing at first, or even to understand what is the use of it. But that's exactly why I have given you a link, which is a YouTube video. It's completely free. It's over a couple of hours. It will give you an idea of what are Docker containers and how you can work with them. Now you know basically everything that you need to know about data engineering at this point, and you can officially go on and create data engineering pipelines. So next level allows you to do just that. So if you click on the batch processing project, it will redirect you to the data engineering project for beginners, batch edition. It has everything like what is the sample data used, what is its data model, what is the architecture of the sample pipeline that they have set up, and they are also giving you some sample code to run on AWS. So I would definitely recommend that for setting up your batch processing pipeline. There's a second type of pipeline which is a little bit more complex, but still very widely used in real world and asked often in the interviews, is the real-time processing. And that's why we learned about Kafka in the previous section. So this is nothing but a YouTube playlist that you can go through. It's completely free. It's talking about how to use Kafka to ingest data from different data sources like MySQL. I would suggest you to create a free tier account in any cloud platform that you prefer. It can be AWS, GCP, or Azure to implement your end-to-end projects. Now, I'm not going to go into the debate of which cloud platform is better. I've worked on all three of them. There are pros and cons for each platform. There are some strengths and weaknesses for each platform. So it really depends on what do you see yourself working in the future. Or if you are not sure, then just randomly pick one, because the good thing is 80% of cloud platforms are exactly similar. The differences that I'm talking about is not more than 10 to 20%. If you go through everything that I've mentioned in this video, by this time that you complete all your projects, you would have become a really, really good data engineer. But if you want to become a even better one or super advanced one, then there are some advanced topics that I have for you in the next level. So this is like an extra level. When you complete a game, sometimes you have an epilogue of mission that's not really necessary for you to complete, but it still is a lot of fun. So this is exactly like that. This level is additional optional topics. You can learn about building, training, and deploying ML models. You can learn about data visualization with Tableau, Power BI, or Looker, or you can also learn about different ETLs or ELT tools. And one thing is nowadays used everywhere is Kubernetes. So we already went through Docker. If you're interested in Docker, then I would definitely recommend going through Kubernetes. It is basically built on containers itself, but it has a distinctive set of features compared to normal Docker. And our final goal should be to become an SME. Now SME means subject matter expert. So let's say you become a subject matter expert in real-time processing, or in containerized applications, or in batch processing. You can pick whatever you like the most and become a subject matter expert, and that will give you the edge in market. Now, what is SME? SME is basically a subject matter expert. So let's say you like real-time processing, or you like containerized applications, or you like batch processing. Just decide what you love the most and become a subject matter expert in that area. That will give you the cutting edge that you need to stand out in the market. And in the additional optional topics, you would have observed things like deploying models. Now you would be wondering, is that really a data engineer's job? Shouldn't a data scientist be doing it? Then I also mentioned visualizations. Then you can say that, isn't this a data analyst's job? Why am I doing visualization as a data engineer? Well, it really depends on what your role is. Mostly if you'll be working in a big organization, then your role will be very much limited to exactly what a data engineer generally does. But if you work at a startup, you might have to wear different hats. So in that case, you might also act as an ML engineer sometimes, or even act as a BI engineer doing all the visualizations. So that's why I've added those sections in the advanced topics, and I would definitely recommend going through them to learn, at least to have a basic idea about what these topics are, and you will never face any problems in the world of data engineering. So I sincerely hope that this video was useful to you. When I created this roadmap, I just thought that what if I wanted to become a data engineer from scratch? What would I do differently compared to what I've done? And what would be the best path to become a data engineer from zero right now? And after that, I created this roadmap. So if you like it, leave a like button and subscribe to the channel. Have you already gone through some of these sections? Are you already a pro in distributed systems but you don't know a lot about what is data mesh? Or have you already gone through prerequisites? Let's talk about it in the comment section. If you have any questions on this video, feel free to drop a comment. I reply to every one of them. Also, if you have any suggestions for my next video, just drop a comment. Thanks a lot again for watching. See you guys next time.